G'day everyone. Today we're going to do some auto rotation. So we're sitting on the ground just north of Heli-Seeker base near some H's on the ground. So we're going to lift off and we're going to do some autos from here. So got the throttle wound on, so we're in the green. Now we'll start coming up. I'm just going to show you just how much fun autos are to practice in the sim, especially in the Tugs Hanger UH1H or the Bell 205. It's they've done a really good job of setting it up so it does them very accurately. So we're just going to take off out of here and climb up a little bit, and then we'll practice them at different altitudes and attitudes. Got to remember we've got a big long tail, so right, as we come up here, let's say if we're coming around to do an approach and for whatever reason the engine just failed, like say now, so I'll roll the throttle off, lower the collective, and we're going for that far H there, and now we'll flare, and then we'll go forward and cushion. Bit rough, but made it work. It was sort of a lower altitude, I rolled the throttle off before I dropped the collective that time, so I was sort of trying to simulate more of if you were sort of startled with the actual engine failure. I think the manual says to lower them for practicing, to lower the collective before you roll the throttle off, so we'll do one of those from higher up shortly. It's just good fun in the sim practicing them in this one because they actually work, and you can actually really get to grips with just how much you can play with the RPM range, especially in the Huey with the big inertia, high inertia rotor system on it. So we'll try a vertical one at the moment. We're just going to lift up here, like we're at this recenter my view. So we're doing a stationary hover at high altitude here. Well, we're at about coming up on 500 feet. So we'll go up to 1,000, and then we'll see what happens. See what we can make work from a auto over top of where we want to land, pretending that's like our sort of a clearing as such, or something we've got to get into. So there's all sorts of ways you could do it. You could go forward and spiral down and around, which you would lose a lot of height. I'm going to try going backwards and then going forwards and down onto our target from stationary hover here. So we're at 1,000 feet. So this one we're going to lower the collective first on this because we're going to have to maintain. So right, power off, and we're dropping now. Now let it build up a little bit of RPM. Now I'll start flying backwards a little bit, losing sight of my landing spot there. Right, now we'll go a little bit further forward, then we'll go try and fly forward onto our bit messy. Didn't quite make our landing spot and messed up the flare, but that's what it's about in the sim, is getting in there and having a go and practicing it. Because if you mess it up, you can just jump out and redo it, go again. Doing these backwards ones is something I haven't done a lot of in the Huey, so that was kind of why I'm wanting to do them a little bit. But we'll go and do another one. We'll do we'll just try all sorts. So I love the challenge of just practicing when you're flying around, and you can just roll it off and see what you can actually make work. Like if you were to have a failure, at any sort of given time. Like say if I was to fail now, I've got a nice big paddock just there actually, so we'll just make this work. Right, flare. Big pitch pull there, but we got it down. It was a little bit firm on the landing, and I swung it sideways to try and get rid of the tail rod out of the way so I could use a bit more aggressive flaring to stop it there. Like there's just so many different sort of scenarios you could practice. Say if you were having an engine failure, like if you were doing say ag work and you were low level, obviously there's going to be a lot more risk involved because in reality, like you don't have a lot of time to react. So if I'm just coming through here doing say a spraying run and I'm doing 40 knots or something, and the engine fails now, you're kind of just flaring and cushioning and onto the ground. That wasn't really the most pretty one. Right, we'll do another one. Building that RPM up. The needles were split. Okay, good. Right. And at quite high weight, like if you got it nearly at max weight or 75 or 90 or whatever, it's it comes down pretty quick. The Huey's still a lot more forgiving than some of the other ones in the sim, in reality, because of the big blades and the inertia they can hold, so you get a little bit more time to play around with the RPM. So we'll go up high and just show you how much RPM you can play with. So we'll get up. Better get back through ETL there. Raise up a little bit more. I'll come up to 2000 on this one just so I've got a bit of time to show you the needle split and then adjusting that the RPM using that green range to extend your glide or to shorten it. Okay, so we're coming up on 1,500. Alright, we'll just get going up to 60 or 80 knots now. Alright, we're coming up on 2,000. Alright, we'll just get up to a cruising speed of about 80, and then we'll right, we're on 60. So if we were to roll the power off here, so we've lowered the collective and I'm just trying to set the nose here for about 80. We'll go up this way. So you can see it's at the top of the green now, so I can raise in a little bit of collective if we wanted to try and stretch our glide out, which will then make us fly a little bit further forward. So look, you can see the green. The RPM still good because we're still coming down. It's just starting to lower now. It's coming back down through the green range. Now it's out nearly at the bottom, so we don't want to let it go. So now I've lowered the collective again, and I'll just raise the nose just a little bit, and see it's climbing back up again. So you can sort of really play with that whole green range when you're in the auto in the sim. Like it's a heck of a lot of fun. So we're going to aim for that paddock just in front of us there. So I'm just going to slow it up to 60 now because we're going a little bit quick. So if I hadn't have raised any collective, we wouldn't have made it probably this far. So we'll try and kick it around again on this one as we come around the corner here. Right, we'll do a big aggressive flare. And there we are, we're on the ground. Right, we're on the power back in. We'll go and do one more and keep this nice and short, but it's just, yeah, I find them a lot of fun to play around in the sim, doing them just all over the place. So thought I'd share it, and you guys can jump in and practice and play them too if you want to. It's a lot of fun in the Huey because it does them correctly. So you can just do them like anywhere. So if I'm coming around here, we're going probably a little bit quick, we're doing 60 knots, but just to show you what can happen in any sort of scenario. Like just failed there, we haven't got much option, so we'll just put it here beside the road if we can. There we go. Some of these lower level and higher speed ones, yeah, they're not pretty, but you kind of don't have a lot of time to react. But the more that you get competent doing them, like your reaction times become much quicker and faster. Right, we'll lift off out of here. Keep our torque below the red, yep. So we'll come round and just do one more to finish off. So we might just aim for that, the big H to the left of that area, just out to my left there. We might try a hovering one actually. Since that first one we messed it up a bit, we'll try another one. Why not? We'll come up to 2000 for this one. Pulling it through, back through ETL. Just move out to the side. Okay. Okay, we're sitting at 2000 and we're just going to try and level off here. I'm going backwards actually at the moment, so we'll just move forward. A lot of reference points here looking down. Okay, we're pretty much just back from a little bit. We'll do that here. So now we're going to go collective down and roll the power off simultaneously and see if we can land on that H. This is going to be a bit of a test, so here we go. Collective down, power off, and we're just going to drop it for a bit. Now we'll kind of start flying backwards. Use a bit of that green RPM up just to get us flying backwards. Now we're going to swing back the other way. Get a bit of speed up here, start flying forwards. Don't want to use up all of our green. And coming in, and we'll flare. Pretty much right at full stroke on the collective there, just at that last bit to pull it off. A little bit aggressive probably, but it just shows you what you can do. Like if you're playing around with different altitudes and scenarios where it might fail. I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, just hit me up in the comments, and what other videos you'd like to see. Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.